Today, we're diving into a guide from author Sahil Bloom that honestly might completely change how you measure your own life. It's all about designing your dream life, not by just chasing more and more, but by getting laser focused on what actually matters.
It all kicked off with this one sentence, just a simple, almost brutal piece of math that was shared between friends, but it sparked this massive, life-changing realization. It's a real gut punch, right? It just forces you to stare a reality in the face that most of us try really hard to ignore.
And once that thought settles in, it naturally leads to this bigger question. What if the whole game you've been playing, the one society tells you that you have to win, is actually rigged against your own happiness?
And that right there is the core problem we're talking about today. So many of us are out there grinding away, playing the wrong game. We're chasing a version of success that costs us way too much, especially when it comes to the things that actually give our lives meaning. You know, there's a term for this, a Pyrrhic victory. It perfectly captures this trap. It comes from this ancient king who kept winning battles but lost so many soldiers that he ended up losing the entire war. Think about it. It's winning the big promotion but losing your family in the process. It's getting that huge bonus but losing your health to get there.
And these aren't just abstract ideas. These are the real warning signs. Missing an anniversary dinner just to hit some profit target. Earning a record bonus but missing your kid's soccer game. Again, these are the painful, day-to-day trade-offs that people make when their scoreboard is only set to one thing: money.
Okay, so if we're all playing the wrong game, what's the fix? Well, it's not to just stop playing, it's to change the scoreboard. It's to start measuring the things that will actually lead to a genuinely rich and fulfilling life.
And this is the absolute key insight. Life itself is the game. The real problem is that the default scoreboard we're given is totally broken. It only measures one thing: financial wealth. And you know what they say, what gets measured gets managed. A broken scoreboard, well, that leads to broken actions.
So here it is. This is the new, balanced way to measure your life. Instead of just that one lonely metric, this framework gives us 5 interconnected types of wealth. And together, they paint a complete picture of a life that's truly well lived. Let's break each one down.
So first up is time wealth. And look, this isn't just about having weekends off. This is about real, true autonomy. It's the freedom to take a spontaneous trip or to finally work on that passion project, or maybe just to be fully present with your family without constantly glancing at your phone. It is the ultimate currency.
Next, we've got social wealth. This is all about the richness of your deep connections. You know, it's that friend you can call at 3 a.m. with no questions asked. It's the family that supports you no matter what. It's a community that makes you feel like you really belong. These relationships, they are the true texture of a joyful life.
And then there's mental wealth. This is all about your inner world. It's having that sense of purpose that just pulls you out of bed in the morning. It's staying curious, always learning new things, and being able to manage your stress. It's that peace of mind you get from having a healthy relationship with yourself.
Physical wealth. Honestly, this is the foundation for everything else. It's having the energy to play with your kids, the vitality to chase your hobbies, the strength to handle whatever life throws at you. Because, let's be real, without your health, all those other forms of wealth just don't mean as much.
And finally, we have financial wealth. But notice the huge difference here. It's not the end goal, it's the enabler. It's about having enough money to buy you more time wealth, to reduce stress for better mental wealth, and to create the opportunities you need to build up your social and physical wealth.
Okay, so this new 5-part scoreboard is great, but how do we actually use it? How do we make decisions that align with it when life is just so chaotic? Well, that brings us to a really cool tool, the Life Razor.
So, what is a life razor? It's a simple rule that helps you cut through all the noise. Just think about the Apollo 13 astronauts. They were in a literal life or death situation, and they had to ignore hundreds of variables. Their one simple rule? Keep the Earth in the window. That was their razor. It simplified everything.
Here's just a brilliant real-world example. The co-founder of Netflix, Mark Randolph, his razor was a non-negotiable Tuesday dinner with his wife. I mean, if there was a crisis, it had to be wrapped up by 5. It wasn't just about the dinner, though. It was a weekly signal to himself and to everyone else about what his true priorities were.
So, what makes a life razor really powerful? It comes down to these 3 things. First, it has to be something you can actually control. Second, it creates positive ripples in other areas of your life. And maybe most importantly, it reinforces the person you truly want to become.
And that brings the question right back to you. What's your razor? What's that single controllable action that defines your ideal self?
It could be something like, I am the type of person who tucks my kids into bed every night, or I am the type of person who wakes up early and does hard things. It becomes your personal North Star.
Which brings us to our final and maybe the most important section of all. Why does all of this matter so much right now? Because, well, the clock is ticking, and the windows of opportunity in our lives are a lot shorter than we realize.
The source material for this brings up some really eye-opening, almost shocking data from the American Time Use Survey. I mean, it's one thing to feel like time is flying by, but it's a whole other thing to see the cold, hard numbers.
I mean, just look at this graph. It shows the average time we spend with our family. It peaks when we're kids, and then it just falls off a cliff. The window for that precious time is so much shorter than any of us think.
And this is the really sobering takeaway from the writer Tim Urban. You might be in your 30s or 40s, feeling like you've got all the time in the world, but you may have already used up 90% of the time you will ever spend with your parents. It really truly is later than you think.
And this quote from Sam Harris just drives that point home with so much power. The last time you pick up your child, the last time you have dinner with a dear friend, the last walk you take with your parents. The thing is, we almost never know when those last times are actually happening.
So we end right back where we started, but hopefully with a totally new perspective. Life is the game you are playing every single day. And the only question that really matters is, what does your scoreboard say? Is it measuring the victory you actually want to win?